Hi and welcome back. So I get asked from time to time what it's like living full-time inside a motorhome. So today I thought I'd give you a sneak peek. So I've been living in my 31-foot Mini Winnie. It's a Winnebago, and I bought it when I got divorced because I didn't want to fear not having a roof over my head and wonder where was I going to live if something happened. So when I sold the house, I took some of the money and I purchased this so I'd always have somewhere to live. Also, it's great because it helps when we have family vacations. We've had a lot of fun with my family, my daughters and the grandkids. I thought I'd give you a little tour and show you around first and then explain what it's really like. For me, it was a viable option. Be inside of Motorhome. It simplified my life a lot and made it so that I can concentrate on healing and getting myself on my feet financially and being able to support myself. So I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can take a peek. So this is coming into my door. So I did go ahead and remodeled. And that behind the curtain is where the driving takes place, and up top is where I've got some storage. I did remodel my cabinets, or repainted them anyways. It's chalk paint that has the darker chalk paint rubbed in. I wanted to give it kind of an antique look. And then I saw in some other videos where folks took these really cool they're plastic jars and just attach them to the top so I can just unscrew them when I need them. And if they should happen to fall, I haven't lost one yet, they won't break because they're plastic. But I thought that was kind of an interesting idea. I also have these little lights here. They come out, they're on a timer, they come on at night, so it kind of lights all of that up. I didn't quite have enough funds to totally like redo the countertop, so I just covered it with this contact paper, and I did put in the backsplash. It was kind of hard cutting it around the window, but I was able to get that done. I bought this little wood piece so I can extend out my cabinet or countertop so I have more room. Painted all the way through here, put more of the backsplash up there, painted my refrigerator and my freezer, and then I tore out, there was 2 bench seats here. I tore out one of them and went ahead and found this little farm bench that I put here, and I went ahead and left the other bench because it does have storage within it that I thought was pretty necessary. I did go ahead and paint these cabinets as well, gray, and I did incorporate that backsplash over here on the other side that you can see. I hung up new curtains, and then I put this wallpaper. It's just a sticky wallpaper that looks like shiplap. Now right now my slide is not out. My slide did break, so I don't have the slide extended at the moment. And that was the last thing I needed to do was the floor. So you can see I haven't redone the floor. I started pulling up some of the carpet. That's the old original carpet and linoleum. But that's my last thing to do. Once I get my slide fixed, I can push that out and then have access to all of the floor to do the floor. And then I did hang up privacy curtains here. This is my shower area. Totally redid the bathroom. All of the cabinets were that kind of light oaky kind of a color. Kind of was old-fashioned. And gray seems to be the color that's in. So I went ahead and painted the top and the bottom cabinets. And then this is also that sticky wallpaper. Kind of more of an antique look. So I went ahead and put that up and all around here. And then I replaced this sink as well as the kitchen sink to make it look a little more modern. And then if we swing this way, this is the bedroom area. It does work for me. This is a queen size bed. Looks are deceiving that you can fit that much in here, but I tried to decorate it and make some curtains and just kind of, you know, make it my own. Hang some pictures that were pretty special to me. And like I said, right here is my shower behind that curtain. So this is where I live. Currently I've lived here for about 4 months. Go ahead and turn the camera around. So I've been here for about 4 months. I did live here right after I had been divorced for about 7-8 months. Went through half a winter, wasn't too bad. I had to watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos so that I could figure out how to survive in the winter, because these things aren't very insulated. And my daughter had an apartment, so I decided I was going to break down and move into the apartment. Had that apartment, then I rented a cabin for a while, but that was kind of too far away and gas prices were going up and it was like an hour commute to work. So I decided to try to save some money and move back into the motorhome. And I've been remodeling it for the last several months and decided, yeah, I'll just live in the motorhome again, try to save, you know, all that money. And it's been working for me. Living tiny like this is not for everyone, though this is probably maybe about the size or a little bit bigger of some tiny homes. I think I have just under 300 square feet when the slide is out. And I did a lot of research first because I wanted to make sure that this was doable. It was something that I could live in. I watched a lot of videos. And I found out that, yeah, that this is definitely doable, that a lot of people are doing it, and it's a way to just always have your living space with you wherever you go or need to go. It is different living in a motorhome. You do have to worry about where you're going to park it. For the most part, it's definitely cheaper. I have found places where, you know, it's only been a couple $100s a month. And basically, you know, I'm plugging into somebody's electric and using electric. I've been lucky enough to be able to park at different friends' properties. So that's been great. If you go to an RV park, it could be anywhere from, you know, maybe $400 or $500 to even $900 a month. So you really got to research that out. And it is getting a little hard to find places because so many people are doing this that they've taken up all the spots in the RV parks and camping grounds. So it can be a little tricky that way. But if you can find a place to put it, I don't like to boondock, which means just like going wherever, like, you know, Walmart parking lots or, you know, just out on a street somewhere. I don't want to do that. I kind of want to have a stable place to be. So it's worked out for me. I will say that, you know, it forces you to keep your possessions at a minimum. I do have storage, of course. I've got like a whole house worth of storage that one day if I move back in a house, I'll have all my knickknacks and all my things. I really had to prioritize what I was taking with me inside the motorhome. And you really can't accumulate too much because there's just not a lot of room. So I have a couple of times gone through and as I've collected too much stuff, gotten rid of stuff. I know some people have a rule of if you bring something in, something's got to go out. And that's pretty much what you really have to do so that you just don't get overcrowded. You have to get pretty creative on your storage space. I did add extra storage bins. There's actually underneath the bed, the whole bed lifts up and that's all storage. And I have the storage up above the cab area where you drive. I modified that so I can have even more storage up there. That was actually bunk beds that I didn't need, so I use that as storage. There are also bins that are outside underneath that have storage, and I try to take with me, you know, everything that I would need from, you know, clothes and tools and, you know, supplies, my camping gear, my snow stuff, snow gear, things like that. I just, you know, try to have the things that I would generally use with me, and then I keep the other stuff that I may only access once a year or so. That's all in storage. The thing about living in a motorhome is that you have to plan. You have a propane tank that you have to figure out how often are you going to have to fill that, especially in the winter. you have to realize that you've got water tanks. You could either fill them or you can attach to a hose. I've decided to just fill them. You've got your waste, your black and your gray water that you have to dump. So for me, I pretty much, for one person, about once every 2 weeks, I will go and dump my tanks. I usually fill my water, my fresh water tank for showers and doing dishes. I fill that once a week, maybe once every 5 days, just depending on how much I'm showering. So that is probably the most labor intensive, is just filling the tank, but it's, you know, pretty easy to do. Driving off is something that, you know, you have to batten down all the hatches and take all the knickknacks down, make sure things aren't going to fall and break. So that takes a little more preparation to pull out. But then I go and I dump my tanks, and if I need propane, I'll go and get propane. In the summer, I would go about 2 months before I would need to fill my propane. In the winter, I'll go about every week. I do use the propane for my hot water heater. So when I'm doing dishes and taking showers, I've got hot water, and it's also my heat source. I also do have plug-in electric heaters as well, and something that I do in the winter is I have that reflective silver material that I have cut out to fit all of the windows. So it does get dark in the winter, but that's a necessity to try to keep as much heat in as possible. I also hang an extra blanket up where the curtain was to block the cab area, just because that's just dead space there that I don't want to heat. So you just have to be strategic. You do need an electric blanket. The motorhome doesn't maintain the heat like a house would, so you do have to keep up on that. I do my air conditioning unit on the top. I do cover that up so I don't lose, you know, heat through there. One of the things that you do have to do is a couple times a year you need to get up on top of the roof and inspect the roof. Make sure that it's sealed up, because you don't want to have any leaks. I know one of the things when I was researching the different brands and the different types of roofs, I knew that this was the type of motorhome I wanted because it was less likely to leak and holds their value better. I've not had any problems, and we've had torrential downpours the last 3 years that I've had this. I've not had any leaks at all, which has been great, but I do go up regularly, a couple times a year, and I look for areas that I have to seal up. There's lots of products you can buy from the RV and the camping stores, and the people that work there are really great to help you just do your routine maintenance. So I've lived in my motorhome with a dog and up to 3 cats at one time. It, you know, can get a little snug, but it's not too bad. It's fun being able to, you know, go on camping trips and go places. I don't have to worry about packing. I just take my whole house with me, which has been kind of fun. I do also pull my horse trailer sometimes if I'm going to like mounted archery competitions, or I'm going somewhere fun to trail ride, or I'm deciding for some reason I'm taking them with me. I did make sure that I got a motorhome that was capable of pulling up to 5,000 pounds, which this one is, and so it's been fun to just kind of take my whole life with me. It's a very freeing and invigorating feeling when you basically have like everything you own all together. It really is, you know, it's less anxiety provoking. You know, you don't have to upkeep a whole house and worry about mowing the lawn and worrying about house problems. It seemed that all the houses that I've owned, there was always, you know, the roof was leaking and things were happening and appliances were breaking, and it just seemed like it was a big money pit, one thing after another. And I did my research on this to make sure I wasn't getting into a money pit, because I know that can happen with RVs and motorhomes. And I've been really lucky. Things have held up really good. I've had just minimal repairs, and it's worked for me. And this might be something that might work for you. You know, if you're thinking about making that plan to leave a toxic or a violent, abusive situation, you know, where are you going to go? Where are you going to live? If you're able to get into something like this, I highly recommend it. It's been, you know, a godsend to me. I don't mind living tiny. It can get a little annoying from time to time, but it's really not that bad. Now, I also have a generator on board so that if I can't plug in, I can use my generator for things like the air condition, microwave, running the blow dryer, anything that takes a little more juice it's not going to run on my house batteries. I do have 2 house batteries that I make sure to keep charged. The generator runs off the gas tank. This is not diesel, it's just a gas rig. So as long as I keep my gas tank at least half full, I know that I can run my generator for a couple days straight and be okay. It is something to get used to. I did have to go through like a little course when I bought the RV. They kind of showed me all the ins and outs, you know, how do you light your oven, and how do you maintain the refrigerator, and how do you clean out your hot water heater. There's gonna be things that you have to do in a motorhome or an RV that you wouldn't do in a conventional house. But to me, it's been very satisfying to be able to take control over my living space and what I'm doing in the care and the maintenance. It hasn't bothered me at all. Plus, there's tons of YouTube videos out there. If there's any time there's anything that breaks, or I hear a noise, or I wonder if, you know, what do I need to do about something within the motorhome, I easily could find literally 20 to 50, if not more, videos on that particular topic. Learning how to change your breakers, to things like, you know, changing new faucets in the sink, and how to manage the air condition unit if it overheats and things like that. It's been really nice to be able to watch videos and try to save some money instead of calling some service that would come out. They do have mobile services that will come out. Because I had the animals, it wasn't like I could go to, like, you know, an RV place and just leave my motorhome for them. I would have to have somebody that is mobile come out to look at things. But I haven't had to do that yet, except for the slide. The slide is something that I probably will have to. Hopefully we can get it fixed. But for the most part, I've saved a lot of money. I haven't had to worry about major repairs because I've watched the YouTube videos that kind of helped me figure out how to make those repairs on my own. If you guys have any questions about what it's like living inside a motorhome, definitely drop a comment and I'll check my comments and answer you back. It's definitely an interesting experience, definitely very doable, and this was the option that worked for me. Maybe it will work for you, I don't know, but I just wanted you guys to kind of see what it's about. Also, I do have a surprise coming up. Hopefully that'll be my next video or the one after that. I've been looking at some land, so I'll hopefully be able to show you a video about that. It's been 3.5 years exactly, working up to getting to a place in my life where I can afford to have my own land and build, and that's super exciting to me. It seemed like every time I turned around there was, you know, something else that would happen, a new disaster, a new thing, the car would break down, something would always happen that would take any money that I was saving. And now I've finally gotten to the point where it looks like it's going to become a reality, even when I thought it wasn't going to be. So I'm really excited. So hopefully I'll get to share that with you pretty soon. Anyways, drop me a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video.